Hi, it's Emily with Home Sweet Pilates. Today we are doing a Reformer on the mat workout, which has come highly requested once again, so I'm really excited about it. You will need to have a set of hand weights. I would do 2 to 3 pounds, and then you will also need to have some sliders. If you do not have sliders, you can use paper plates. You can use folded up dish towels if you are on like a hardwood floor. So there are definitely options if you don't have like the actual sliders. And then optional ankle weights. If you would like to have them, go ahead and place them on. I have 1 pound ankle weights on. So that is all we need, and let's get started. Okay, we are going to begin facing the front of our mat. Go ahead and grab those sliders. Make sure though that you have your hand weights close by where you can easily grab them, okay? If you're using your ankle weights, go ahead and have them on. We'll just have them on for the entire class, okay? So we're gonna start. You can just hold those sliders as we roll ourselves down, always being active, right? Take those sliders, place them in either heel. So I have one slider on one heel and one on the other. I'm laying my head all the way down here, making sure that my entire spine is on the mat, okay? So my feet are hip distance apart. We're gonna do footwork like we would if we were on the Reformer, okay? So my hands are down by my sides. My heels are on. Whenever you are ready, we're gonna press those sliders out and then drag them back in towards your bum. So you press them out and you drag them back in. The temptation here is going to be to arch your back when you're pressing out and to arch your back when you're bringing it back in, right? But you wanna make sure, that you don't do that, okay? So you're really pressing into each slider equally as we go out, and then we really drag it in. We'll just do a few more here. Make sure that chest is nice and open. Mine keeps getting stuck on my mat. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get off my mat really quick, and I'm gonna do this lying next to it because these work so much better just on the rug here. So this is real life, right? Here we go. We're pressing out and bringing it back in. That's so much better. It just kept getting caught up on my mat. All right, last one here. Now go ahead and put your toes onto those sliders. We're doing the same thing, but this time we're on our toes. So because we're on our toes, I can't straighten my legs all the way, right? So just go out until as far as you can, and then you're gonna slide it back in. You will still feel the work as you're sliding it back in. Make sure that your feet are not going into a V towards each other. Try to keep them on that straight line, in line with your hips. Remember to keep your entire spine down on the mat. It's gonna really wanna come up, so you're pressing it down. Last one here. Bring it up. Now take one of those sliders and place it to the side. Put both feet onto one slider and make a Pilates V. So I have my toes are slightly turned out and my heels are glued together, okay? My knees are at a slight angle. We're going back out. Keep those heels glued and drag it in. We're just feeling different parts of our legs waking up, right? When we were doing our heels only, we were feeling the backs of our legs. Now here in the Pilates V, we're starting to feel those inner thighs. Keep your belly in. We have one more. Last one. Now take that slider that you put to the side, grab it once again, go back onto your heels, but this time let's bring our legs out wide a little bit. So we still have that diagonal that we're making with our knees, right? and just press those sliders out at an angle and then bring them back in at an angle. So we press it out and we bring it back in. We're just doing 2 more here. Last one. And bring it back in. Now, placing your feet back to hip distance apart, put those heels back onto the sliders, okay? We're gonna do some bridging. So imagine that you have an imaginary marble on your pelvis. You're gonna take an inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna tilt your pelvis towards your head to roll that marble into your belly button. Press into your forearms to open up your chest. Press through those heels. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep that tilt in your pelvis, okay? Let's roll it back down. And do it again. So we exhale as we lift. I'm pushing into the ground with my forearms. Inhale to top, exhale as you roll it down. My back always cracks when I roll it down. We have 1 more. Lift it up. Now take your right leg and just extend it out and pull it back in. Do the same with the left leg. Extend it out. Pull it back in. You should feel those hamstrings as you pull it in, right? We're doing a variation of pelvic lift here. If we were on the reformer, we would be pushing our body away from our legs, but here we're pushing our legs away from our body, right? So we're switching it up a little bit. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to add on and make it a little bit more challenging, take both feet, press them out, but do not straighten them all the way if you can't, right? I can't. This is as far as I can go. It's not that far. And then drag it back in. Inhale as you release. Exhale as you drag it back in. Keep those hips lifted. You're using your forearms to push into the ground. We have 1 more. And roll it all the way down. Take those sliders, place them off to the side, hug your knees into your chest, rock it side to side. I'm gonna bring my mat back into the flow now. So go ahead and grab those weights that are right next to you. Okay, so we have those weights in each hand. Let's bring our legs up into tabletop. If you're wearing those ankle weights, it's just adding a little bit more, okay? So we're here in tabletop. Please know, if you need to, you can always have your feet flat on the floor with your knees bent towards the ceiling, okay? We're gonna do a variation of supine arm work. So head is gonna stay down on the mat, arms are straight up towards the ceiling. Rotate your palms to face your feet. Okay, keep the shoulders down and back, belly is in. You don't have a big arch in your back, right? You're just gonna lower your hands towards the ground and then lift them straight back up. So we lower it down and we lift it back up. One more here. Hold it down. Bend 90 degrees at the elbows so your fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. Now just lower your hands down and then bend them back up. So you straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Keep your ribs knit in. Mine are really wanting to get up right now. My back is wanting to arch a little bit. So keep thinking about what is your body doing. Next time we straighten, hold it down. Bring your arms out to a T, palms are facing the front wall once again. Bring them straight down to your hips, back out to a T. Straight down to your hips, back out to a T. Ooh-wee, straight down. These ankle weights really add something, don't they? We have 1 more. And rest for just a second. We're gonna go straight into coordination, which is one of my favorite reformer moves. So we're back at that 90 degree with our hands, fingertips are towards the ceiling. Legs are back in tabletop. You're gonna take an inhale. On your exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Press your arms and legs towards the front wall. Bend to bring it back in. Do it again. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it back in. Now we're gonna add on. So we're gonna bring it forward, then we're gonna open our arms to a T only. We'll do that twice. Then we'll do it again and we'll open our legs only, and we'll do that twice. And then we'll do it again and we'll do arms and legs together, and that will be it, okay? So we're doing 2 of each. You ready? Let's do it. So we inhale, we exhale, we extend, arms out, arms in, bend everything back in. Exhale, extend, arms out, arms in, bend everything back in. Now moving on to the legs. Exhale, legs open, legs close, bend it back in. Exhale, legs open, legs close, bend it back in. Are you ready? We can do it. Let's make a starfish. Extend, open, close, back in. One more. Extend, open, close, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. It's hard on the reformer, but honestly, it might be harder on the mat because you don't have any momentum of the tension of the springs. You're just moving right through. Okay, so now take those weights, place them to the side once again, but keep them nearby, okay? We're not done with them. We're gonna need them again. I'm gonna take my clip out because we will be doing some inversions in a second. So if you have a clip in like I did, take it out, okay? You don't want that in your hair when you're doing inversions. Sorry, my cord is like all over the place right now. Okay, take your hands, make a diamond shape or a triangle, whatever. Place them underneath your tailbone, okay? It's gonna add a little bit of height to your tailbone. There's a purpose for that, okay? We're gonna do a variation of feet and straps. This is why we have the weights on our ankles. So straighten your legs up towards the ceiling, but make sure that tailbone is solid, okay, in those hands. I don't want your tailbone lifted like this, okay? So if you have to bring your legs forward slightly, please do that. Let's open our legs about shoulder width, maybe a little bit further than shoulder width, but not super wide, okay? Keep it about shoulder width. Lower them down to about 45 degrees, and then lift it back up. So we open, we lower, we bring together, and we lift. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, open, exhale, lower, inhale, close, exhale, lift. Keep that belly down, don't let it arch. If you're arching, you're dropping your legs too low, okay? Now let's reverse it. We lower the legs together, open, lift, together. Wow, these ankle weights, they really add something. I practiced this before, but not with the weights. I'm like, oh my gosh, my legs are shaking so bad. I don't know if you can see it. I'm doing it right along with you, okay? You have one more. Oh, wee. All right, let's take those feet. Oh my gosh, okay. Take your feet, bring your heels together. We're going into froggy. So your knees are slightly out, your heels are glued together, right? Exhale as you extend. Inhale, bring them back into your chest. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring them back in. Keep your shoulders relaxed. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Take a second, hug your knees into your chest. I need it, so I feel like you probably need it too. We're gonna stir the pot with those knees. Open them, and then bring them together. It's like you're making a circle with your knees. This is just gonna help those hip flexors a little bit. Reverse direction. We're not done with the feet and strap series yet, but I need a break. All right. So now, but you don't need to put your hands back under your tailbone. Just keep them by your sides. Bring your legs straight back up to the ceiling. Lock that left leg into place, okay? So we don't want that left hip lifting at all. It stays straight up and down. It's okay to have a slight bend. I have such tight hamstrings. Mine are always slightly bent, right? I'm working on it, but I'm not quite there yet. Take that right leg and laterally lower it without lifting the left hip, and then bring it back up. So we lower. It's okay if you don't lower as far as I do. If you only lower to here, only lower to here. If that's where you can go, with keeping your left hip and your left shoulder glued to the mat, okay? Keep those nibs knit in. Keep those ribs knit in. Oh my gosh. One more. Onto the left leg. Ooh, my right side was wanting to lift there, so let me move slower, more controlled, always slow it down, okay? My body does the same thing. It wants to go faster to try to get through it. One more. And bring those knees into the chest. We're gonna move into some inversion here. So if inverting is not something that you feel comfortable doing, just skip to the next exercise, okay? As always, anytime you do an inversion, do not go onto your neck, stay on your upper back, okay? One of my favorite reformer inversions is short spine massage. Obviously, we're not on the reformer, but we can still do it, okay? So we're gonna take those legs. It's gonna feel weird. You're gonna be like, what are you making us do? But I promise it feels really good, okay? Take those feet, bring your heels together, okay? So my knees are slightly out. Let's bring them up towards the ceiling. Now, press through those forearms to lift your hips up and over to bring your legs over your head, okay? Always in control here. Really lift your hips up towards the ceiling. See how I just elevated even more? Now keep those heels together. Bend your knees in towards your shoulders, like so. Now keep your feet lifted as much as you can and as long as you can. Roll your spine down. Roll, roll, roll. Really articulate, articulate. Try to keep your feet up as long as you can until you cannot keep them up anymore, and then press them forward. Bring your legs back up. Let's do it again. So we press into the forearms, lift the hips up and over the head. I'm really lifting my hips here, okay? Really, really lifting. Keeping my heels glued. I'm bending my knees down and in towards my shoulders. Now I'm gonna roll down through my spine, keeping my feet back as far as I can, as long as I can. And then I can't do it anymore, and I press my feet forward. You wanna do one more? Let's do one more. Lift up and over, heels together, bend the knees in, roll it down. Roll, 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 roll. Keep your feet back if you can. And then bring them forward. Nicely done. Okay, go ahead and grab those straps. Straps. I feel like I'm on the reformer. Grab your weights once again. Put your feet straight out in front of you. Flex your feet, okay? Arms come up towards the ceiling. We're just gonna roll up to get up to sitting, okay? Palms are facing one another. Take an inhale. On your exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Roll up through that belly. Sit up nice and tall. Gonna go straight into rowing. So let me put my hair up very quickly. Keeping your feet out in front of you, cross your right leg over your left. We're sitting nice and tall. My hands are in my in towards my chest. I'm gonna turn and face you just so you can see what I'm doing for the first one, okay? Sitting nice and tall. Fists are touching, palms are facing my chest, elbows are out, okay? But I'm sitting nice and tall. I don't have my shoulders in my ears. You're gonna round through your torso here, so roll it back as you round, but don't let those shoulders come up. Keep them down and back. Roll down as far as you can. Bring the arms out to a V. Rotate the palms to face the outer walls. Sit up and over towards your chest as you bring your hands behind you. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Circle them around to sit up nice and tall once again. Let's do it again. Roll it down and back. Arms come out to a V. Rotate the palms to the outer walls. Sit yourself up and fold over towards your legs. Hands come back behind you. Circle them up towards the ceiling and around as you sit nice and tall. Let's go to the other leg over. So now I have my left leg on top of my right. If these ankle weights are getting annoying, we don't need them for the rest of the series. So you can take them off if they're bugging you, okay? Please know that. We have our hands in towards our chest. We roll it back. Out to a V, palms facing out. Reach up and over towards your legs, hands come behind you. Circle them up and around. Back to that starting position, we have one more. Roll it back. Out to a V, palms out. Sit up and over, hands come behind you. Reach up towards the ceiling, ooh, circle them around. Come back to that starting position. Awesome job. I'm gonna take my ankle weights off just so I can move a little more freely here. All right, now taking those weights, I'm gonna face this direction once again. Still facing the front of your mat, we're gonna do a little chest expansion series. So, you are sitting with your hips on your heels. One weight is in each hand, palms facing the back. Shoulders are down and back. Let's bring the arms straight out in front of us, okay? Sitting up into a high kneel, bring those palms right behind your hip. So it's like right where your booty is, and just hold it there. Now, as you sit your hips back down, you bring your arms back in front. Do it again. So you're lifting by using those thighs, right? Moving slowly, keeping your belly in, and lower it down. Do it again. I like to inhale as I lift here for that extension, and lower it down. One more here like this. Hold it here, look to the left, look to the right, look forward, and sit it back. Now we're gonna add on to thigh stretch, okay? So we sit tall, kneel tall, hands are by your sides, by your hips, they stay there. Lean back using the tops of those thighs, keeping your upper body in a straight line. Lean back, forward, sit it back down. Do it again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Do it again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep your hips forward. Keep that chest open. We have one more. On this one, if you want to add on once again, we're going to lean back. If you want to send your head back to look behind you, feel free to do it, okay? So we lean back, head comes behind, head comes forward, sit up tall, lower, down. Awesome job. You should be feeling the tops of those thighs at this point, right? Coming back up into that high kneel, we're gonna do a little arm series. So I'm gonna face you, just so you can see better, right? We're doing okay, right? Okay, Reformer on the mat, we can do it. So we're sitting in that high kneel, so what that means is that my booty's not out like this, right? I have my hips forward slightly to keep a nice straight line. Palms are straight out in front of you, shoulder height. Just go into a bicep curl. So we just extend and bend. You keep those shoulder blades down and back into that bicep curl. If you want to add on to have a little bit more lower body, right? You can sit and lift, lower and lift like so. This will just kind of bring that lower body into it, but sometimes honestly, just staying still and only doing one body part is harder. You've got 3, 2, 1. Rotate the palms to face each other. Bring them in a narrow row and extend them back out. So we row it back and we extend it forward. Row it back, extend it forward. You can do the same thing, right? You can lower and lift here if you choose to. That's always an option. Will help get your heart rate up a little bit, get a little cardio into there. We've got 3, 2, then we're going into a wide row. 1, palms face the ground, row it wide. When I'm doing this, I'm not pressing my chest out, right? But I am trying to kiss those shoulder blades. So there's a difference between moving my chest and using my back, right, to try to meet in the middle. Are your arms dying? Because my arms are dying. Oh my gosh. We've got 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Hands face each other in the middle. Single arm row, narrow row. So you have a slight rotation here. Meet in the middle, slight torso rotation, but you'll notice my hips are not rotating. My torso is the only thing rotating here. Oh my goodness. One more each side. We have one more set. Oh my gosh, hug a tree. Bring those elbows out, slight bend, open, close. Same thing here, don't let that chest pop out. My shoulders are dying, you guys. Oh my gosh, don't let your elbows fall like mine were. 3, 2, 1, and in. Oh my. I think my soul just left my body. That was insane. Okay, we're almost done. We're in the home stretch here. We're gonna do a quick ab series and then we're gonna stretch it out with mermaid and we are good to go. So, if you have never tried Reformer before, welcome to something similar, right? All right, so go ahead and take those sliders, put your toes on them and kneel into all fours, okay? So we're in all fours here, toes are on the sliders. Ooh, our shoulders are hurting and this is not gonna be very fun, but it's okay, we'll do it anyway. Okay, so on the Reformer, there's a series called Kneeling Abdominals, facing back. And this is similar. So in that series, we would have our knees up against the shoulder blocks and we would drag the Reformer into our hands, okay? We're gonna do something similar here. We're gonna start with round back. So I want you to push into your hands here to round that upper back like the cat of a cat-cow, okay? Now let's hover those knees off of the mat, keeping that round. Pull your knees in towards your hands and then press them back to go under your hips. Pull them into your hands, press them back. You'll feel those lower abdominals. Use an exhale, really push into those hands. Try to keep your knees at one height. You have 3, 2, 1. Lower. Sit into a child's pose. We still have flat back, but I need a break. Okay. This is really getting me today. I hope I'm not the only one. I hope this is hard for you too. Okay. Flat back here. So from your head to your tailbone, you're in a flat neutral spine. That means you're not arching, you're not rounding, right? We just have that neutral spine here. We're doing the same exact thing, but keeping that flat back. Hover those knees, pull them in, press them out. Pull them in, press them out. Keep the belly in. Don't let the back shape change. You have 3, 2, 1, and lower. Oh my gosh, you made it through. Let's do a quick mermaid. And we're out of here. We're done with the sliders. We're done with all the props. Let's sit into a mermaid here. So you have one foot in front, one foot behind. So you're making like a Z sit, right? Let's take your, this is my left hand. So I'm just gonna say my left hand, the one that's closest to the leg facing the front. My right hand is gonna come up into a diagonal. I'm gonna exhale as I round through my chest. So I round, and reach over. You'll feel this in your thoracic spine, your mid-back. You'll feel it a little bit in your upper back as well. And then come back the way you came. So take that hand, swoop it out up to a diagonal, and counter stretch. That hand comes down, we reach up and over. Make sure you're keeping your opposite hip down the whole time. Let's do one more. We round. We open it back up, counter stretch, and then come to the other side. So switch your foot position here. Right hand goes down on the mat. Left hand is up into a diagonal. Scoop and round, 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 round. Feel that stretch in your back. It feels so good. Pushing into the floor, so you're pushing your chest away. Bring that arm back the way you came. Counter stretch. And one last time. Scoop and round. If you have not subscribed already, please be sure to do so. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this workout. Be sure to give it a like, share it with your friends. Counter stretch, because there's so much more to come, and I would love to see you next time. Bye.